Done.
Awesome. Thanks, babe. That was cool.
That was an amazing chat. I love how we put that little post-it note that you had. How
Yeah.
we kind
Put
of
it
like
in there.
snipped it in there.
I don't know how
Um,
we did that one.
yeah, it worked out well because I don't believe that would have been a full conversational
No.
topic to be have through the podcast on its own. Yeah, there it is. Tick,
Tick.
done. Yeah, well done slipping that one in. And
Yeah.
awesome storytelling. Love it.
It was fun though. I had fun. Oh goodness. It's true though, Quintin. I laugh at the amount of people looking for hacks. Just constantly looking for a hack to get more clients. It's just,
But you
I
can't
just,
blame them. It is, I believe it's a lot with how we as a society being exposed to so many different things. We have access to technology and information at our fingertips. We can just go like, bang, cool. How do I solve this problem? And I believe we also expect the result to come as quick as the information that we can actually get. And with that in mind, we are constantly like, oh, that's not working. Maybe the next thing will work. And you're throwing yourself out there and not really getting anything done.
ultimately though, I believe it's made us lazy. I really truly do.
Yeah.
Because, and it's also made us impatient. Because what that means is, like, you're right. So let's go back in time again. Back in the day, if you wanted information, you either had an encyclopedia at home or you were like me, where your parents, there was this special thing that they bought, but I was missing L, M, and I was missing a couple, right? The inside, all the letters bar a couple letters.
Yeah.
Because there was this promotion where they bought one. Anyway, long story short, I had to go to a library as a little kid to get information. It was like, oh, what's this? And then the next day, doop 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 doop, to the library, open up, then you find out the information. I used to spend so much time in the library.
Yeah.
Showing my age a little bit now, but the point I'm trying to make is
Library? What's that?
the point I'm making is that. Oh, now I'm like, oh, what is it? I find myself going, oh, freaking button. Like I'm like rushing the button. Where in the past I'd have to doop 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 to the friggin' library.
Yeah.
I've got it here too. And you're right. Like I think that, in this time and age, because people are living in that kind of world, they want everything fast. And there are certain business just takes time. You've got to become the right who. I was talking to a client today, wicked awesome human. The really awesome human, and he's got a big team and he's building his business and he's doing really, really well for himself. And we're looking at, where his goal is and where he's going. And we actually created, I'm like, okay, go 15 minutes past the successful completion of your goal. And he's like, I'm like, okay, and I just want you to, like, in your mind's eye, feel it, like, notice, like, your posture. What's your posture like?
Yeah.
And he's like, my the back, my head's a bit higher. How do you feel? I feel alive. I feel free. I'm taking deep breaths. I've got, like, everything seems simple and clear, and I've got focus. And there's just this feels. I feel like a sense of achievement and pride. And
Yeah.
so he's explaining this feeling to me, and there was all these different things. There was calm. There was presence. There was literally like this calm expectation of everything's completely fine. Little things don't sweat me. I just feel good. There's really not a great deal that could get me off this feeling of complete certainty and whatnot. And what was interesting was when we came back, it was, well, let's have a look at, where you are now and this person, what the gaps are, because ultimately it's when you become this person that you'll have everything that you're wanting.
Yeah.
Yeah? That this person has an independent team that they trust, therefore they've got the time freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They when they walk in, just the energy that they exude is they don't stress, they don't micromanage, they don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when we had a look at what are the differences between the two, the future and the now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff working in the now, but in the now, the character he's currently playing is, well, quite frankly, stuck in the future or stuck in the past. Not present, not calm, just go, 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 go. Waking up at 2 a.m. with, oh shit, I've got to do this, and emailing himself reminders. And
Yeah.
some stuff goes wrong, and blasting the staff right there and then to get stuff moving.
Yeah.
High pressure, go, 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 go. So many things to do. Why do I say this? Because ultimately, there's a journey. There's a journey we take in business. The who we need to become that doesn't sweat the small stuff. The who we need to become to maintain state.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? The who we need to become to lead the people that are actually going to be working with us, for us. And until we get that who right, we do dumb things that actually create our staff, and quite frankly, have us lose clients. That if we're not the right identity, and it takes time to become that, that we do things like a staff member will do something wrong. And as opposed to getting that the most important thing to all human beings is for them to feel their own sense of freedom and their own sense of worth, if we go in and go doop, 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 doop to them, all that does is make them, it has them crumble.
Yeah.
It doesn't bring out the best in them. It has them scared to take a chance in the future because they're scared of getting friggin' in trouble, which means you're actually creating a codependent staff member. Does that make sense?
Totally, yes.
You've gone doop, 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 doop. Now, the business owner that has freedom doesn't abuse their staff, because if they did, they wouldn't have freedom. They'd have to micromanage constantly.
Yeah.
Because it's micromanaged and abused never, ever, ever reaches a state of, I feel good in my role. I can make decisions on my own. I can be proactive.
Yeah.
They feel like imprisoned. So to me, when a business owner looks...
Do you believe every business owner should take on that role to be in that position where they can just oversee, or do they need to be hands-on? Like, the reason I'm asking this is we had a meeting with a potential client today, and the similar conversation was around their current staff experience. First of all, it's not tracked or measured, and how that reflects to the customer experience, which is also not tracked or measured. But when it came down to your overall staff experience, so they wanted to apply this next project, and they were both, him, the owner, and his manager leader, were both extremely busy. So we suggested, why don't you go and reach out to the staff? Like, it's a very small project. It's something that someone can step up and take the lead and actually get it done, which results in some form of empowerment and involvement, which is great for the community. And it's the very first time that they've actually asked out for help. So quickly scripted that for them. But where I wanted to go with this is that business owner isn't necessarily the person who should be driving the actual ship. That where he is very much just in the sense of, let's look at the numbers. It's working, it's not working. Very numbers driven. Whereas it feels that he's lacking that actual leader who can go in and actually delegate. So my question is, should it always be the business owner who takes on that role of actual leadership and delegation versus the operation and just the figures, the numbers, making sure that everything else is in place? What's your take on that?
Got it. So ultimately, there's three energies. There's always been and always will be three energies in business.
Yeah.
Three. There's the energy of the artist, which is basically the person who's really good at doing the do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skilled producer. There's the energy of the entrepreneur, which is the person that's awesome at sales and marketing, profitability. And there's the energy of the manager leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, if we're not a natural manager leader, then we get one in. So no, the owner doesn't have to be the manager leader. The owner could be the artist or the entrepreneur in the business and hire people to fill these gaps, meaning the owner could literally be entrepreneurial, marketing, sales, profitability, hire people that are awesome at what they do and get a manager on board that manages those people.
Yeah. Cool.
Makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whereas for a lot of small businesses, they do have managers at play. However, a lot of the times they'll hire someone to manage an area that's awesome at the area, but probably hasn't done a lot of management. So what happens is the owner hasn't done leadership and management training. The managers they've got in place are actually artists, skill producers. They're friggin' wicked awesome at the department, and they got promoted to manage it because they know the department in and out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so the problem then is in most businesses you've got artists trying to manage, getting passionate and effing things up. You've got the owner being a friggin' entrepreneur and not knowing how to, lead people and going in there and effing that up. And there's actually and there's no true leader there. There's no one really knows how to lead or manage. No one.
Yeah.
No one's ever done any form of course or done anything in it. There's just a big fat void of leadership.
Yeah.
And they wonder why there's problems. I'm not kidding. It's like once I tell...
they wonder why things aren't getting done or things aren't being followed. Yeah, I hear.
And it's funny because once I show this to a client, they go, huh, there's like, dude, you've got void. There's no one leading this ship.
Yeah.
There's just, and the leaders aren't really leading. They're reacting. Often it's just they're doing their best. They're either too nice, they're trying to be everyone's friend, or they crack the shits and they exploit at people. So usually I found business owners, depending on where they sit energetically, and if you guys have listened to our podcast on DISC, where we talked about DISC, if you're a D type of leader, there's a whole bunch of issues. If you're an I type of leader, a whole bunch of issues. S leader issues. C, there's there's just issues with all of them, and there's journeys to learn. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
So to answer your question, Quintin, you just need a leader. Doesn't matter who does it, someone's got to do it.
Yeah, cool. No, it answers as well. It's an interesting dynamic. We actually identified afterwards, business partner and I, we had a debrief around it, and we identified that himself isn't the true leader of the business, and the person he's currently got in charge as a leader isn't a true leader. He's more of just a manager, making sure that things can get done. He will follow things to the T and get it done. But an actual true inspiring leader is lacking that quality. So we're putting together as to what is the first thing we're going to focus on. We got to come up with an action plan now for the next stages. And it is really thinking about, how do we address this regarding the culture of the customer experience, the culture of the employee experience, the staff experience, and then the overall empowerment of putting those in a beautiful, harmonious play so that they complement each other and so forth. It's cool.
It's funny, because ultimately, good on you for having these talks. My God, well done for having these talks. It's funny because ultimately, to me, when it comes to when you look at this triangle where I said, there's an artist, there's an entrepreneur, there's a manager.
Yeah.
To me, can I go a little bit like Gaby Sonic on you? So to me, I run events because most of my market is artist. Some of them are artist entrepreneurs. I don't attract manager leaders. Manager leaders don't tend to run their own businesses. They like to manage and lead and organize. They like to because they're maintainers. Yeah. So the manager energy is a maintaining energy. They like to maintain what is, whereas usually business owners are more. They want to start. They have ideas. They want to create. Yeah. They don't really want to maintain. They want to they've got a lot of fire in them. Anywho, so for me, when I looked at this model and there's the artist, the entrepreneur, and the manager, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's good and great, but there's more to this. The artist energy actually needs to become a rock star in order for their marketing to work, because the artist is all about doing shit for themselves. They're so in their thing that they're not willing to look outside of it to see where they can go wide.
Yeah.
Where they can, once the artist energy becomes a rock star, which is all about the fans, all about innovation, friggin' changing the game, stepping out there with a different sort of, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's when the game changes, and actually run an event where we all turn into rock. It's fun. We have gloves with sequences. Anyway, we dance. When it comes to entrepreneur, I believe that there's an evolution there too, where there's a growth journey, and the growth journey is going from entrepreneur to thought leader to innovative thought leader. So it's visionary, quite frankly.
Yeah.
When the entrepreneur moves to visionary, the whole game changes. They really do find their absolute freedom, their absolute bliss in that point. Then when the manager turns into a leader, their whole game changes. And when you have a business that's gone 3D, that's gone rockstar, so it's gone from artist, entrepreneur, manager to rockstar, visionary, and leader,
That's awesome.
or the whole thing evolves. And that's what I do. So within my program, I run the courses I do is about stretching them out to go into those zones.
So it's really, if I'm hearing you right, it's identifying where they are. And as you're saying, there's not many that go into the manager energy, but identifying whether they're visionary, they're an artist, or they are the entrepreneur, and then expanding it for them in their genius and really taking it out to a whole nother level, and then obviously getting the right team on board, which gets developed in whether it's the visionary or the artist coming on board, and then developing that rock star from them so that they can both be at a scope. And yeah, that's epic.
Well, it's funny. What I've found, yeah, definitely. What I found is I remember a mutual friend of ours, Kelly, did this event. This is what finally got her the rockstar thing, because she's an artist at core.
Yeah.
This is what got her to finally start producing content marketing, because she went, oh, it's about like this stepping into that space of rockstar. It's about the fans, get the content out there. It doesn't matter if they buy, it's just get the friggin' stuff out to the fans.
Yeah.
It's a very different kind of energy. What I found though is regardless of where you sit, every single person needs to develop leadership for self and for others.
Yeah.
And so to me it's a bit of a hack where if you're a natural manager, you need to learn how to lead, and you will be happy. Your soul will just thrive in that. If you're an entrepreneur, when you step into visionary and you own being a visionary, your soul and you thrive in that. When you're an artist and you step into rockstar, whoa, does your soul fly. And usually we have one primary. Some of us have all three developed.
Yeah.
It just depends. Ideally in business, if you've got all three developed, rocking. You'll just have a favorite though. So for me, I'm an artist entrepreneur. Meaning that, but really I'm a rock star visionary, if you want to look at it that way. I do what I do because I love it. Like having it simple is my art. Yeah. Running my events, it's my art. It's my canvas. I just, it's, like it's my song I get to sing for the world. And having the ability to sing it, like doing this podcast to me, creating podcasts and content marketing is a rock star act. It's not an artist act. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's anything, as you were saying, it's getting it out there for the show, regardless if they buy or not. It is, you're there to produce amazing stuff. That's rockstar trait right there.
Totally. So, and it's fun in that moment. It's like you just, you and I, we've got these times, I see it, like you're talking about something like we're both so animated, and so excited, and that's the rock star coming out. This is for your fans. This is where you're like, I would do this even if I didn't get paid, and guess what? We don't get paid to do this podcast.
Exactly.
So.
On that, we've actually been doing this almost for a year. Like, this is amazing.
Oh, yeah, one more month. No, was it? We started in December. We started recording in December. Yeah.
I'll go back and I'll find out.
Yeah, the idea was on the end of November, because I was in Sydney on like the 20th of November.
Yeah.
That was the idea, and I think we started recording at the start of December, and we launched in Jan. So we are close to a year, baby.
Oh. Boom.
Does that make so long story short, for me, when people say, just to sum up what we're talking about, when people say they're after a magic pill, all I keep thinking is, you're going to miss the journey.
Yeah.
Growing a business is one of the most beautiful personal development journeys you'll ever go on. It's like going on a massive nature adventure. And right now, all I'm hearing is you want to get to the top of the mountain, and you're like, how do I get to the top fast?
Yeah.
That's not the point. That, it's the who you need to become. It's the journey that actually makes it worth taking. When you get to the top, it's funny, I'm running an event, Quintin, next month. And the reason I'm running this event is to help them create an identity for when they actually do reach the top of the mountain. Because most business owners go, 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 go. No one's like they've got a vague idea of what freedom means to them.
Yeah.
But when they're at the top, do you know what happens to them?
They burn out.
They want to. They're bored shitless.
Ah.
All time and money freedom, and for a few months it's fun, and then their soul starts to die because there's no more challenge, no more adventure. It's boring. That they thought that what they wanted was time to be with their friends and family and to travel and to fair enough.
Yeah.
And they do a little bit, and they realize their kids have to go to school.
Yeah.
And then they realize, does that make sense? That it's not functional to that. Yes, they wanted more time with their kids, but unless you homeschool, quite frankly, the kids are at school, so you got school holidays. So okay, you got that. They get bored. Their soul starts to die because to create, to be the person that we are means that we love challenge, means that we actually we thrive on making shit happen, but most importantly, we love to achieve.
Yeah, I hear.
To get to the top, first place, we are addicted to the dopamine rush of achievement. And so on next month, I'm running an event where they're all creating how to achieve in time and cash flow freedom. What do we do after this stage? But what do we plan? Like, what's there? What's the next goal beyond that mountain? What's the next mountain? And why is it sexy? And how is it going to fill all of our needs and have us feel sustained? Because otherwise they get there and the whole thing is like empty and meaningless.
Yeah.
I
love that. That's awesome. It gives them, being that high achiever where it is constantly like, we're going, giving them that next thing where that's the next big challenge. And this is who you will be by the time that you reach there, ready for that next challenge. I like that, actually identifying it rather than leaving it to the mystery of like, cool, I'm going to get there, but I've got no idea who I'm going to be there, or there's no certainty around it. And I guess if there isn't that much certainty, as much as we are variety driven, without that certainty there, it's
sabotage.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. We do. We tend to sabotage and stay in the rat race. But it's funny too. I found that having this particular conversation with people in the past, and for my own journey, it's that in having this conversation of there's never no more mountain to climb. That truth to be told, we're growing creatures, and you'll climb this one and you'll get there. But guess what? You're either going to get bored, and start to shrivel, or you're going to go, oh, next mountain.
Yeah.
And next one's always bigger, by the way.
It has to be. Come on.
Which is so funny, right? However, what I found is in getting this, like properly really getting that, there's always a new mountain, that we tend to then slow down and enjoy the first one, or the one that we're on, because we've already climbed a few.
Yeah.
And I believe that when business owners actually calm down and see that there's another one to go, that there is no end. There is no friggin' end to this. There's just that's the goal achieved. What's the next one? Otherwise, I can't breathe because I need to achieve. I'm an achiever, to some degree. That even if I calm that achievement voice in me, I still really like to create and achieve. I find that that's what stops people from searching for the magic pill, because they end up enjoying the journey a bit more.
Yeah.
I know what makes sense. Anyway, we've been talking for ages. Marketing
with Vino Unplugged. Love it.
Plugged, guys. My dear, you have yourself a friggin' phenomenal week and a phenomenal weekend.
Thank you.
There's some sunshine here, which I'm really excited about. So I'm going to go take my dog for a walk to the beach. Now, what are you up to yesterday?
I just got to finish off a couple of projects, and then I'm going to start cooking dinner. Enjoy the bit of the sunlight that we have while on the balcony, and close off the evening like that.
Enjoy dinner and say hi to him. Much love.
Ciao. Bye bye.